Welcome to Speak Seeds, where transformation and inspiration is the expectation. My name is Jason Thomas. I'm the husband of one, father of three, and mentor to many. I'm a certified Gallup Strength coach with over a decade of experience in coaching, strategic planning, and mentoring. Today we're going to talk about a toolbox. Now, when you think about toolbox, what come to mind? What profession? You think about plumbers. You might think of mechanics. You might think of a person that builds a house. So a person who is a blue-collar person has a toolbox, they spend a lot of money on those tools, right? They have to have the right tools to get the job done. If it comes to a job and you don't have the tools, what happens? They mess up. They break it. Growing up, I remember I would see people using a butter knife as a screwdriver or a shoe as a hammer, right? Y'all can think of many other examples of somebody who was trying to do a job and they used something that was similar, but it wasn't it, and ended up messing up the thing. Our toolbox is the same way. When we're encountering problems, you got to go to your toolbox, or they say go in your bag. You got to go in your bag and get something, right? So the most common problem that people have is with each other. When you're in the workforce, it's somebody you can't stand. It could be a boss. It could be a coworker. It could be a client. It's somebody you can't stand. I remember growing up, sometimes I would be like, you know what? If I could just have to not deal with people, I would be straight. You know, like I just want to just come in and do my job. I don't want to argue. I don't want nothing. But that's not realistic. It's not realistic. Young people I deal with, young professionals, they don't know how. Like they rather being passive aggressive, not addressing the issue. That's basically using the butter knife to screw it in because you're not helping, you know? So it's like, man, where do I get these tools from? Like, you talking about a toolbox. You're talking about how we did stuff. Where do I get these toolbox from? These tools for my toolbox. I'm glad you asked. So before you go shopping for tools in your toolbox, we got to know what you got. That starts with a self-assessment. So as a certified Gallup Strength coach, we do these assessments, and we talk about your strengths and your ability and what you naturally do. That's your starter toolbox. Growing up, your first toolbox, you might have some pliers, a Phillips, and a flathead. That's all you got. Now, as you encounter more difficult things, you might have to get more expensive tools. But everybody starts with a basic skill set. So in our coaching sessions, we determine, what you have, the line of work you have, and are your tools working? Because if the tools you have are working, you don't have to go get the $3,000 electric Bluetooth wireless drill. You don't have to get that because the one you got is working perfectly fine if you add a little more elbow grease to it. So when it comes to toolbox, that whole thing about being self-aware and self-assessment, it helps you get through the toughest things. So here at Speak Seeds, we are passionate coaches, and we want everybody to have the right tool for the right job. It's nothing worse than having the wrong tool for the job. When I was a mechanic, I remember fixing on cars and I would need a specific tool to do something. I would go to AutoZone, get the tool, come back, and it's wrong. And even if it's like by a small milliliter, let's say like it looked just like it, but it's not. That makes a world of a difference. Another story I want to tell y'all about something that looked like it should work, that it doesn't. I ride bikes and I clip in. I clip in when I'm pedaling, and I have a bike and I ride very, very far. So the bottom of the shoe, the clips got worn down. So I bought more clips. I went to the store and they looked just like it, right? Okay, it looks like the right one. It had me fooled. Bought it, put it on there, right? I'm downtown Chicago riding, y'all. I try to unclip, my foot don't come out. I saw death. I thought I was going to die. I said, Lord, I didn't know it was going to end like this. Now, in my mind, I'm trying to pull my foot out like I normally do with what I normally had, but it just did not work. So upon further examination, they were like, you know what? This is a model. I don't remember what model it was. It's very similar to the naked eye, but it's not going to work. So sometimes the tool you have for handling conflict might look like what somebody else is doing, but it's a small nuance that's not it. And my own personal testimony with that, with having something that looks like it, when I'm a married person, in case y'all didn't know, I've been married, I said, husband of one. And sometimes my wife, I'll be like, I said I was sorry. Now, I said the same thing somebody else said, my words, but my tone was off. So if you look at the transcripts on paper, we said the same thing, but my tone made the world of difference. That goes back to your toolbox. And the last thing I'm going to leave y'all what's in your toolbox is 55-38-7. Have y'all ever heard that before, 55-38-7? I've been talking about it for years. It's how we communicate. So 55-38-7, 55% of how you communicate is your body language, 38% of your tone, 38% is your tone, and 7% is your words. If you ever want to test my theory out, watch a soap opera movie in Spanish. Dead serious. If you watch it, you be like, dude mad at her. Or man, he finna kill her. How do you know? Body language, tone. You don't have to know the words. You can get a lot from it. So this is a small thing about what's in your toolbox. To tune in for more. You want to set a call. We can talk about what's in your toolbox. I would love to review some of the tools you got, ones you can work on. Like I said, certified Gallup strength coach. We would love to work with you, your spouse, your business partner, your client, whoever want to make the investment. This is Jason Thomas with Speak Seeds. Talk to you soon.